I'm a strong believer in you really pursuing what you want to pursue and giving it your all. But at what cost? Like, I can be a breadwinner for like, let's say 3 months. Maybe we're figuring things out.
A quarter.
I think the plan needs to be laid out for me really clearly, especially for the next year. 3 years, yoni mambo yako, because what prediction skills do you have to know that this is what's going to happen in 3 years? Like, this is when the fruits are going to come. To me, it seems like a sugar mommy scheme.
You're just trying to marry me to now
like,
relax.
Just take care of me. I'm trying to make this business work. It feels like that's how men would talk when they want you to be their sugar mommy.
Yeah.
Maybe to find like a 50-50 or maybe...
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it can't just be the whole burden now is on me. Maybe you used to do 100. Now you're saying, babe, mommy. Do 50.
Even
now,
when his conversation with the boys
like,
okay. Anakutext at unaweza nitumia ka 5K nini every time.
Hakuna ku hang out. Can you come to the
house? You're
not
hanging out. You're hanging with.
There's no money for hanging out.
There's no money for.
Hey, hang out. Sir, you're working on a big major project. Can you focus? It's not time for hangies and coming home late.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Banter over Brunch.
Yes.
Episode 129, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. My name is Alice Kanji.
Hey guys, my name is Alexia Musao, and yeah.
This is also our last episode of the year, of the season. Guys, it's been a journey. This season has gone on from, I think, June. I'm a March, April.
Juicy too.
Ati juzi too.
Okay, we took a break.
Fair. Yeah, it's just started this.
Actually,
I thought it was the whole year. I forgot we had taken a break during our birthday.
So August.
Our birthday episode with John Melly, which was our best listened to episode according to Spotify Wrapped. So call for you to go tune into the other episodes that we've done with B.O.B. And even if you've taken a break, there's so much for you to catch up on. A whole 28 other episodes that we've done. But you can start listening from about episode 100 because some of those episodes we had.
I know they were so good. Go listen
they were
to.
Good.
I still have a favorite. I've forgotten. This one I really enjoyed. Is it self-sabotage?
Oh, there was a self-sabotage one we've done.
There's one even I posted on
social
Twitter.
Media one we've done.
Episode.
Quarter life crisis. My best episodes. I think they're still the first boys and girls episodes we've ever done. I think for me were really good. It just shows the evolution of our journey whenever I listen to the episodes, because those just takes you back to that time of, oh my gosh, we were doing at the studio and we were drinking or we were meeting up with these guys or we had this technical difficulties. So yeah, it's definitely been a journey this year. Not just this year, the past couple 2.5 years that we've done B.O.B.
3 years.
3 years. Oh, we celebrated 3. Oh my gosh. It's so crazy. Yeah, but here we are. There's so much for you to catch up on and just to get to know us as we evolved also. So yeah. Sad, bittersweet, but also we're ready for the holidays. We're ready to come here in January and give you all the tea. So
stay tuned. I was thinking, what has been your favorite episode of this season?
My favorite episode of this season is probably the one with... I think the one we had with Sisters in Crime podcast, because we just really vibed so well with those girls. Like until today, I'm still talking to both Sophie and Zilani. Like, yeah, I really liked their energy. And I think for that, we stayed that day till like 11, 12.
Planned a sleepover.
Drinking
we need to do it.
Planned a sleepover that is yet to be done. So that was one of my faves. I also think another one of my favorites was Tara, which was, we had the previous 2 episodes. We had 2 episodes, part 1, part 2 with Tara. And I loved it. Oh, we had Stephanie Nganga. We had
Kate
Candy. Okay, it's hard to choose.
All
We had
of them
Stephanie
were
Chorono.
good. That was last season, though this year.
Oh, it was last season. Okay,
Yeah.
last season. Okay.
So we've done a
Yeah,
lot
no,
this
we've
year.
done a lot. We've done a lot. I also, the one with flowers.
Sinta
Sinta May. I didn't tell you I met Sinta May, in fact. Hey!
At the golf club.
I'll let you know that story. At the golf club.
Yeah, I just figured.
Yeah, I
nice.
met her at the golf club for this on Friday, last week on Friday. I met her. Yeah, no, but her episode was extremely inspiring. So I want to add that into the mix of my favorite episodes because, like, she was really. If there's an episode that was super inspiring that we've ever done this entire podcast, that is one of them, like proper. And we also had the coaching Rebecca, who was also lovely. I think, we've had amazing episodes this season.
I think even you've just mentioned like all of them, so I'm even just going to go through them. I think I really enjoyed Stephanie Ngangas. I think she's one of few people that really inspire me in this industry. When I think of the production she has for her show,
she is standing on business.
And I'm like, Aki Steph, you're a whole media house.
She is a media house. She doesn't come when she's coming. She comes dressed to impress.
Yeah, I think it's the excellence for me. Honestly, even the content, paid partnership content that she does, you can see there's a lot of thought that goes into it. There's a lot of quality. Kwanza, let me tell you, the influencer space is really changing. Today I watched another ad, like influencer ad, and I was like, where? These are actual ads. These are actual advertisements, ads. Which makes sense because how many people are watching TV as much, So, of course, companies are paying top dollar and content creators are putting out quality content because these are the actual ads that
people are now using. But before we go any further, I was having this conversation actually with Gail. Oh my God, this girl has been mentioned every episode we've done in this podcast. But we were talking about now that change in the influencer industry of content being like ads being like ads. And it wasn't like there's a 50-50 to
feel about it,
because it's also like the reason why it was supposed to reach out to influencers is because it's supposed to maybe be seamlessly introduced. Like there's this YouTube channel that Nimara and I normally laugh every time we watch their videos. I think it's called Yes Theory. They really sell you the experience before you don't even know the ad is coming. Like they'll just talk about, we're building community and that Yes Theory, traveling, and that's why then they roll in the ad and the seamlessness. And I think we've lost that touch. It's almost like this is promotional. And like the Fanta ads we were talking about, the Martina Ingles, I think that's her name. I'm sorry if I've butchered it. Fantastic content, but it's ad throughout. And so I don't know if we can find a balance of that authenticity in not authenticity, but just that ad complex of it. I really liked Stephanie's videos, especially the ones she's done with Daryl and for example, because it talks to who she is as well. Fashion. And so she's gone to a designer. On top of that, she's embracing Kenyan artists and promoting them. And it's so in line with her brand. But I feel now it becomes, now we're doing an ad. Maybe it's completely different from who I am. And so those are some of the qualms that we have with content creation. But also it's not easy. Like when you're the one creating the content, you won't always have fantastic ideas. It's just...
Yeah, because like the one I mentioned, I don't know if you guys know Shish Kamithi. Yes. She's just an amazing personality. So she's working with Rexona. Hey, go check her content out. And her personality is funny, jokes, vibes. So even in the... Like I'm looking at her not just an influencer but as a content creator because she's put the comedy in the content, so and the quality as I say artists like this could be on TV, So of course for some of us we're like okay, like we need to pull up our socks, but I think the main thing is also staying true to yourself because your audience knows you. So if you do something that's not of you really, it may feel like you're going...
Your audience might feel like
you're not enjoying
you're selling yourself.
Yeah, and you won't even feel like you're enjoying it because it's not you. So I believe everyone has a unique voice. There's someone like Murugi Muni, I wouldn't say her videos are the most creative or the most fantastic, but what do people love her for? It's that day-to-day engagement. It's that day-to-day authentic conversations and all that. So if she's telling me to buy this, Sawa, it may not be the most fantastic shoot and cuts and all that, but because I feel like I can trust her and because I feel like we have a relationship, I'll buy into it. And she's managed to do that. I mean, she's one of the top influencers, Instagram influencers in the country. So
there's one video that I really liked. I don't know if you saw the Just Ivy Carrefour ad with the chic.
I just saw the suits.
I liked that one, but I also feel she feels like now she's a walking billboard. Which, I mean, but the brands are, most of the times it's very like business, financial, this is who you reach out to. But Pia, I think I also just have a side to it where it's like, okay, when does it start being oversaturated and losing who you are? Like, do you still have content that's just for you? Because when I think of her, I rarely ever now think of
what else does she
Mondays
talk about.
Like it feels there's always an ad attached to her content, which I guess is good. Go get your bag, sis. You can't condemn her for that, but it's also, how sustainable is it as an influencer to keep your audience still engaged with your content?
We were talking with my friend about who are some of the content creators who have just us this year, and we did mention Victor Peace. And I don't know if you guys are following Victor, but Victor is like a breath of fresh air. He's just super funny, super chilled, and also I feel like he is getting brand deals, but it's not just our billboard, you know. I think the thing is people need to feel like they trust you. I think back to Murugi, I know if Tana is in school, I know if you know, you still, apart from the ads, there's still that connect, but it's a lot to ask from someone also. I feel like for like Murugi, Hash has decided, I show up every day on Instagram from morning till evening. That's what I do. This is how I'm making my money, and I'm calm with that. And I think for other people it's just like, okay, let me make my bag, or even build the community. I feel like for Ivy, she built the community with Money Mondays and has now sold them her other product, because she does have Movers Society, and I know they have their own sessions and other things separately from Instagram. So yeah, the space is changing and it's growing, and I feel like content creators, influencers really need to position yourself, because as you said, there are new people leaving high school every day. Even many new people I used to consider children, and they are making bank, you know. Money. So how am I supposed to compete with people and everyone can be a content creator, you know? Literally, I feel like everyone can have influence. So how do you stand out, and how can you think outside the box as well?
And also just know you can also be a corporate content creator. True. In case you're aspiring to be, just because it's not your personal content. If you struggle with that personal consistency, you don't really know what to prioritize. Like being hired to create content for a brand in-house arguably can be more rewarding also, that because you know there's that stability and I don't have to constantly be on my toes on why is my content not picking or this and that, and but you're still curating ideas, you're still creating content and implementing what you do every day. So yeah, Kwanza, I have like 50,000 pages, but I wouldn't call myself like a mega influencer, but 100% I still do content creation in my own form. So yeah, let us do imeingia wapi conversation. Today is supposed to be a dilemmas episode. Gosh,
guys, wait, please. I know it came from, we're going through our favorite episodes.
Oh yeah.
So like I was just saying, Stephanie Nganga she's doing a great job. And then we also had Kate Kendi. I think Kate Kendi is someone who I've seen the consistency and the growth and the trajectory. She did launch a podcast with her mom.
Oh yeah.
Perspective Mother-Daughter Conversations. Today I got a chance to tune into one of the episodes, and I've always loved the relationship she has with her mom. So definitely keen on seeing more of that. So you guys can check that out. It was a very nice episodes. Of course, Sisters in Crime.
Yeah.
That was an amazing shoot day. I think we had so much fun with them. As Alice has said, the rapport we just hit it off. And I have listened to their episodes so far. It's a new thing in the country, and I think it's, if you're into true crime, even if you're not, these are things we see in newspapers and never really know the stories.
They're just the things happening in Kenya. It's not true crime from Sijui where. It's like true crime in Africa. In maybe in Kariobangi this happened, in Nyanza, in like places you're already familiar with, which is very rare to find true crime that people are really just focusing on here.
On Kenya.
Because when people think of podcasts, they just think of the everyday conversations that we have here on Banter Brunch as well.
Yeah, so I think that's it's, guys, go check that out as well. Sintame, I know I kept saying I'm going to listen back to this episode. I need to do it probably today. I need to feel that excitement that I felt that day, that motivation.
Yeah, that motivation.
It was just good to have her on the podcast. For Sintame, I don't know if I mentioned that day. She had just reached out like a while back. Like, oh, I'd like to be a guest on the podcast. And then the day before shooting, we reached out to her. She was available. And I think it just flowed. If you're into business, entrepreneurship, if you're a woman in business.
If you're looking to even grow your flower
business or any other business. I think also just start something, because she did mention like she had gone through depression and then now she just picked herself up. So I think that was amazing. Rebecca is a career coach. If you want to be a boss lady, if you're looking for promotions, if you're trying to position yourself in the corporate space, she does have a discount code for anyone who mentions Banter Brunch. Why you guys have not jumped on this, I don't know. You know, she's a director right now in a big company. And
the big day.
Yeah. So
I don't know how that sounds, but yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, please go look for her. Yeah, and then a while back, we had Tara, a 2-part series. And I know you guys also really vibed with this episode. I feel like Tara had not gotten the platform to speak on how she's gotten where she's at, and we were privileged to be able to give her that platform. We talked a lot, from content to business to photography, like
business with your partner.
We really covered a lot of things, and she took her time with the story, which we enjoyed. We didn't feel like she was rushing, so we got to discuss a lot of things. All in all, to say that this has been an amazing season of episodes, and if you've just stumbled across this one, even start with season 7, there's just a lot of gems.
So Tara's episode was really good. The season in itself has been fantastic. So I think to close off the season and the year, we just wanted to answer a few questions, probably maybe about us and our opinions, and also just dilemmas that we think we would have liked to tackle. The last time we did dilemmas here, we talked about it was very interesting.
My boyfriend wants female friends. You remember that one?
I remember.
That guy.
So, I hope she's doing well wherever she is.
I hope she left him. That is the only way she could be doing well.
So today, let's touch on some questions as well. I think the first one we're talking with the studio audience about was, you get married, and during your first year of marriage, your husband says he needs about 3 years. And before he is able to take responsibility, or he's trying to follow his dreams or something. And so you cater for the bills, take care of the home until the 3 years he's able to sustain the farm. What do you think about that one?
Okay. So I feel like, first of all, I'm just trying to put myself like in those shoes, kabisa. Like, why did you not bring this up? Because I'm like, where did it come from? You know, but again, maybe this business venture came when we were already married. I think for me, of course, I'll be a bit taken aback because, I mean, we already have a way that by the time we're getting married, you know, okay, we're both working, we're both in a corporate job, or we're both in business. So of course, now when you're telling me, okay, I need you to take over for not 1 month, 3 years, not bills of 1 month. I feel like, okay, first of all, why didn't you save up for this? Why are you starting now? So you start. But plan for it. Don't just wake up and decide now our savings are going into this business or something. I feel like you should have had a plan to transition into this thing. But anyway, I think it depends on the person. And I believe kila mtu anajua mtu wake somehow, you know, and not everyone can be the same. So I feel like you just look at the patterns. Is this someone who, you know, is diligent, has some form of discipline in them? You know, I feel like there's a way you can sort of gauge this person that you're married to. Ama ni mtu unajua hata hii business probably haitawahi shika, you know, like he's not he's not level-headed, I think. Yeah, but
You don't
breadwinner.
sound.
Summer brands. It's not my brand. Yeah, I'm not fully convinced. I feel like you can still have a source of income as you follow this other thing. Yeah, don't just leave everything. Ati now nimi nashikilia. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do I think about this? I think 3 years is too long, first of all, first and foremost. And two, I'm a strong believer in you really pursuing what you want to pursue and giving it your all. But at what cost? Like, I can be a breadwinner for like, let's say 3 months. Maybe we're figuring things out.
A quarter.
I think the plan needs to be laid out to me really clearly, especially for the next year. 3 years, yoni mambo yako, because what prediction skills do you have to know that this is what's going to happen in 3 years? Like, this is when the fruits are going to come. To me, it seems like a sugar mommy scheme.
You're just trying
Because
to
that's how
marry
it
me
starts.
to now
Like,
relax.
just take care of me. I'm trying to make this business work. I feels like that's how men would talk when they want you to be their sugar mommy. I mean, house. Wait, there's no lie there. That's how they start. Now you see haikuingiliana, so maybe this month bado lazima ushikilie. Then the next month something happens. So for me, I think at least maybe for the first 6 months, there's proof that I'm seeing, and I know that really there's something that for real will bear fruits. And I'm definitely not gonna be the breadwinner for more than like for too long. Maybe if it's the situation is different, maybe you've lost your job in the process of us being married, and now we need to figure out how we're doing this together. But Alexa, you're also giving a point of it's important for you to have something together and multiple streams of income for you to be sustainable. By the time you start a family, you know that things need to be in alignment. So if you're just chasing this one thing, it will be hard for me it'll make me question I don't want to say your masculinity, but your financial, how you think of finances or how you think of your future and your sources of income. Because why you're relying on this one thing, but for you to start that one thing, there needs to be something that I think you're already doing, even if it's not the millions, but in ashikilia some parts of the 40.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Maybe to find a 50-50, or maybe
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it can't just be the whole burden now is on me. Maybe you used to do 100. Now you're
That's a
saying,
sugar
babe,
mommy.
do 50.
Even
now
when it's
I do
conversation
50.
with the
I'm
boys,
like,
and
okay.
anakutext ati unaweza nitumiaka 5K nini every time.
Hakuna
That's
hang
an
out.
ick.
Can you come to the
You're
house?
not hanging out, you're hanging with
There's no money for hanging out.
There's no money for
Hey, ati hang out. Sir, you're working on a big major project. Can you focus? It's not time for hangies and coming home late, and we have a big project.
And there are even things you might want to do. Okay, I guess that's where the sacrifice comes in. But you can't go even for like lunch, or maybe once every 6 months a trip to something where bado ndio unalipia trip. That's a poor man, actually. Because what he's saying is his poor and he needs you to sustain him until he gets something that follows through.
I think also a thing that people need to do before they get married, I don't know how many people do this, is just actually have the premarital counseling. I think sometimes when you're dating, you sort of assume things, and you need sometimes an outside party to ask you, are you comfortable with this? And you set everything on the table, because I feel like sometimes people get into marriage with so many assumptions. And yeah, I just think it's because even I'm sure a counselor can ask a question like that, and your wife now talks like that, you're like, that idea you had to quit your job, it must evaporate, because clearly you've seen this woman is not trying to hold things down, and I think it just helps you guys sort of, especially when you have an outsider who's not scared to ask you guys, and it's sort of, a safe space.
Or maybe throughout the relationship you've held it down and you just need like a few months of support before now the next step, because if the man has been the provider throughout and he just needs a bit of help here and there, Like you'll willingly do that.
Yeah.
But you're your sugar mommy outside.
At least I said only sugar mommy. Yeah. No, I mean I just believe there needs to be a plan, and
Yeah.
it can't be 100% on me. I can't go from a house. I'm not even a housewife, but me, I know my salary is for me. Now all of a sudden,
It will be important for you guys if you're married.
it's for me when I choose for it to be. And I know most families are like that. I guess maybe you pay house guards, Tima. But now you can tell me I'm paying school fees, rent. Maybe I contribute 10K per month to school fees, or a kitty. And then now you want me to contribute
kitty.
all of it. No.
She said the boundaries, it's clear you're the provider.
Yeah,
If you're with
please.
Alexia.
Oh, please.
Okay, sour. The next question I think we had was on, what was it?
There's one, I don't know if this was one we were supposed to tackle, but there's one on Twitter about guys who got married early.
Oh, yeah, that's the
and
one.
whether they're actually enjoying it, or they regret. I know none of us are married at those in that bracket that they gave. I think it was 22, 23, 24. Yeah, but what have you seen any? Okay, maybe I can speak from what I've seen. In terms of young marriages, I think I know like 2 people who are married and they're in their 20s. But yeah, them, I think they got married like at 25, 24, which is still relatively young, we can say per se. And I think for me, my opinion is, or rather, growing up, I always wanted to get married early. And early was at 24. I think latest was like 25. Of course, you start dating and sometimes you can be very discouraged in Nairobi. And then I was like, I don't think I have time to meet someone, date for at least 3 years, and then get married. But just before I was about to give up, I did. So that's my personal preference. And I know people are very different. People feel like, oh, if I get married at 24, now my life is so much with someone else's life. I don't get to live my own experience, which is totally fine, totally makes sense. But for me, I think the thing is, I was like, okay, I'd like to start building my family as soon as possible, start building a legacy, start building wealth with someone as early as, God wills, for me. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm very open to it. But again, I wasn't so hard-headed. I was like, okay, if it comes at 26, 27, I don't think it really changes. I still think people are so different. There's someone who could be married at 21. You're thinking, this is a child. There's this babe I follow on TikTok. Actually, she's 20 and she has 2 kids. And she's married. Yeah. And she looks so, like, they're thriving, And I'm like, 20? For me, when 20 is like, you're young,
Yeah.
I think because I'm older than 20, of course, I'm like, you're a child. But when I look at her, she's okay. So I'm like, okay, I guess maybe that's for you, But I think the main thing is not about the age. I think it's just about where you are in life, where you are with yourself also, and how willing you and your partner are. Because I don't believe marriage is between 2 perfect people. I don't think we all reach perfection and self-awareness where, oh, wow, there are still things you'll discover about yourself in marriage, and there are things you'll discover about your partner in marriage. But how, I think it's more of the maturity of how you're able to navigate those discoveries. And and just personal preference, because I don't think it's wrong for you to want to finish your degree, your master's, and work for 5 years before getting married. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. So I think that's just why I sit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me, I think you see how you said that from when you were younger, you knew you wanted to get married and married young. It's just never been my thought process when I thought of my future, and I've always said that. Like, I think that ties into just my personal ambitions and my personal goals. Like, it's always been me. Someone will come along the line, we start building like a relationship or something, but I didn't think like how connecting with someone could come into play. I think what doesn't help is that I have 3 elder siblings, the youngest elder being 27, and none of my elder sister got married at 32 or 30, at 30. And none of my siblings are, married, or I'm seeing any perspectives. So I don't know, maybe there's also just a genetic wiring of us being married late. I don't want to say that's what's going to be
How
the
old
case.
was your
I'm
mom,
open.
maybe?
My mom was like 21, probably. I mean, it was those days you meet, but she got come we stay, and then they got married in like 20, like I don't know, 15 or something.
Oh,
like
did you guys attend?
2010.
I hear laws are not allowed.
We weren't allowed because we were born after. Which is
Yeah,
complete
I saw
nonsense.
that on Instagram.
Some traditions really just don't make sense to me because my parents also follow them to the T. My dad has never been to my sister's house. My mom ever, because apparently you're not allowed to. My sister, went to surgery. My mom now, for some reason, can't go to her house, or she's never gone to my sister's house alone ever. It's always she's with my auntie or with a friend, but it's apparently my mom can't come alone to my sister's house. Now it's her in-laws house, which I think is like, okay, when do you say you're choosing
but
your
I think
battles?
Luos are you're also very traditional. I feel like the Bantu side, like Eastern, Central, where
you guys are very like, oh, let me just introduce my boyfriend.
I think weddings is what I even saw someone saying, like Kikuyus are so, they went for Kikuyu Murugu Munyi, and went for Kikuyu burial, and she was like, where's the drama? It's been 2 hours. This person has been buried. We've moved on. She's like, in Luyaland, disco matanga. You need to do
disco matanga. You have to have.
You chill the night.
You have to drink the whole night. Wake up like it's a celebration.
Yeah, and she was like, okay, Kikuyus, it's more of the wedding rites, the Rurasho Ngurario that they take seriously. But other than that,
even my sister introducing the brother-in-law was so crazy. Like before they get engaged, I'm assuming you like go maybe meet your parents. We never like was engaged. Then that's when my sister was now saying, okay, there's someone I met and he wants to marry me. And then now officially meeting, like, when he was meeting my dad, it's like a whole ceremony. At the end, the council has come to the house. My dad can't see him. He has to stay outside until now a certain ceremony is said or something. That's when now they officially meet. So my brother-in-law came in, and by the time now him and my dad were interacting was like at the end of just whatever discussions they were having. And I'm like, it doesn't have to be this deep. Like now my mom not seeing my sister at her house because of traditions to me was so like, where do you draw the line?
I feel like it's not serving anyone, it's not serving anyone. Because as you're saying for your sister, like now she does need your mom around. So
it's so trippy to me. I don't understand it. Maybe I understand the small ones, even and those ones I don't understand. My grandmother is home, we can't cook chicken because chicken this, so now she has to eat something different every time.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, there's always like some tradition that always catches me off guard, and I think that's what also catches me off guard with dating Luo men. I just simply don't want to conform to some of those traditions that some people take so seriously. Yeah, I don't know what your experience has been, but for me, I'm just like, my parents take it too. So we missed the whole wedding. We just knew our parents are getting married. We're all in the house chilling. They came back in the evening. Now
and
the
you
after
are
party.
grown-ups.
And we're grown-ups. Like, so now we saw them at like 8 p.m. when they brought the after party to our house. And I was like, oh, okay, this happened. They showed us pictures. But that to me was just so insane. Like, we're already here. We stayed for 20 years. Sasa ndio mnataka kuamua ati hatuwezi ingia wedding. So like something, but yeah, we weren't involved. Hata tuliingia huko aje. What are we talking about?
Guys getting married early.
Yeah, guys getting married early. So yeah, it's just never.
So I asked you how old your parents were.
Yeah, how old my parents were. So yeah, they were quite young, but I think their generation, that was the vibe. Marriage was such an integral part of them. But I guess I've just had to think about it more. I'm not getting any younger. I mean, like, do I want to get married? What age? But I don't judge people who do it. I just get surprised. But damn, that's what you've been thinking.
It's a serious commitment. Like, it really is.
Like hearing my friends talk about their relationships and the intensities of it. It's like, I mean, can we just still stay goofy? Like,
I think the more even like now dating, I got to realize the magnitude of deciding to get married. I think that's why I'm like, but they take your time,
Yeah.
like heal whatever you can heal at this point, grow,
Yeah.
build, have your own individuality, because you really just become one with someone else, and now
Yeah,
your
it
life
all
is sort of
becomes
like,
about
okay,
the two of you.
yeah,
So
and
yeah, I think
starting a
that's
family, the two of you now, and yeah.
so I think that's maybe what I'm afraid of, losing that individuality, because I've always just thought of Alice and my future, and having someone else. I don't think it makes it worse. It just makes it a different kind of experience. Like I can't just decide, okay, now I want to just move to Finland, do my master's for 2 years, and not think about the effect that will have on my partner. What does he want? Can they do long distance? Can they not? I'm not going there to start a new, life, just like new culture, fully
Yeah.
immersed. You always have to consider someone else. So that's the scary part for me. So I've never thought of that. But hey, do you, boo?
Yeah, I think
There's
there's
always
no one size
risk.
fits
There's
all.
always risks involved into everything. But because also divorce rates are so high these days, cheating, we all know somebody whose husband is in your DMs, or you've interacted with someone in the club who's married. How much faith do we have in the strength of marriage anymore? Also depends on the people around you. Do you see successful marriages around you, and can they help you have that? A lot of factors are involved, but if you have also a lot of liberal friends, I think also Taylor like pushes you unwillingly or unknowingly towards that. And because I think my friends have always been so liberal, like I think it's genuinely very recently that when I interact with my girls from that friend group of ours, that's the only side of my friends that are so serious, very into their religion and their beliefs about marriage, the next steps. But 80% of my friends, like, we just live life. Like, come on. Like, it's either we're focusing on our careers, our individualism. When you get into relationships, they're like day at a time. But yeah, I think you guys make me have like a balance of, okay, maybe you need to start thinking about these things as well.
Yeah, and it's a sweet balance,
So,
but still everyone in their
till I'm
in
to
their
it
time.
with their
Yeah.
time. Yeah, if you feel you're ready, but just deal with the consequences.
it's a change.
Because now you can get to 30 or 35, you still haven't found someone, and then that becomes now scary because you're going against time. Now maybe you want kids and you chose not to think about serious dating early on. Hakuna formula though. Like, it is what it is. But for me, late 20s, please and thanks.
Yeah, which
Or
is
30.
decent. Even 30s is very
Or a
decent.
life partner. I don't know, people always feel weird about that, but me, I'm open.
To not be married, yeah.
But yeah,
I think
just live life together.
There's someone who told me that. I just want a companion.
You just want a companion, man. It doesn't have to be that deep.
Like true.
Marriage
Maybe. I don't.
with a prenup involved, not unless you have money.
Would you need a prenup though?
Yeah.
Without being married?
No, like, okay, no. When you're not married, then you don't
You
have
all have
to.
your own things.
But if you're doing things together, there definitely needs to be contractual agreements.
Yeah.
I think for me, that's very crucial. Not unless you have more money than me. Significant.
If he has more money. Yeah. But you still need to protect yourself so that you can get some of that money.
With a prenup.
Mm-hmm.
You get money with a prenup. See, it's more like this was yours and then this stays yours if it's yours.
And if it's half, it's ours. Okay, I don't know.
So now those are things you discuss and you see the terms that you both will be. But yeah, prenup, I'm into it.
Let's talk about prenups actually. Anyway, no, kwanza in Hollywood,
people think it's such
serious.
A weird conversation like to have. I don't see what's weird about it. It's maybe like, or people say it as you're preparing for the worst,
divorce, yeah,
or a divorce, or you're manifesting a divorce. I feel like that's something definitely my parents would tell me.
I think also African culture, you see, I think marriage in traditional African culture is like, you're just together, you're one spiritually, physically. So what do you mean this is my house?
Yeah.
Or this is my car,
Yeah.
But me, I feel like it's just that sometimes people are not mature enough. And sometimes the lines can get very grey.
Did you get a prenup?
No. Would I? As of now, no. When I go to counseling, I'll think about it.
Reasons?
I don't think it's a thing. that I feel is relevant to me right now. Yeah, like I just feel like, okay, so we are married, we'll do things together. Yeah, I think for me that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's not as easy as maybe I'm making it seem. That God forbid when people divorce, like, leave me the house, like, can you go somewhere else, or let's sell the house and share the profit, or like, why are we making it so deep? Like, yeah, but of course now things can be so intertwined that if you're trying to get back your individuality, it's so hard because
That's why
your
people say
things are
divorce is so
together.
brutal, because it's like you see
Yeah.
another side of someone you didn't know. Like, I bought this house. I know we said it's ours, but it's mine. We're going through a divorce. This is my assets. These are this.
That's
And
the thing.
it's
So how
brutal.
is it yours? Because I know in Kenyan law, once you're married, now everything is joint. Maybe things that you acquired before being married, those are yours. Just like we did a topic on this, and I was so
But then now
intrigued.
you see, once
Once you're splitting,
you're
you
splitting,
can't split the house.
and you're, per se, let's say you've been the housewife, without, I think, the set boundaries, it's common where, like, maybe now they go with everything and you feel like you contributed nothing, especially financially,
In fact,
this
the
relationship.
court of Kenya said something about there's contributing that's not financial.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you came home to food that I made you breakfast. That's why you're able to attend those
So you
meetings.
feel you deserve
Yeah.
deserve some cut of that, but you simply just don't get that, or vice versa, where baby mama is taking all your money. They're entitled to what are they called? These things that Americans are always fighting for. Upkeep for the kid, but that upkeep is looking monthly. Why am I paying you 300,000 for upkeep?
Relationships can be complex when
They can be. So me, mambo za pesa tukubaliane tu when things are still nice and fruitful. Because
that's what I'm saying. Guys need to have these conversations even before they get into. I know things can change. People can go against their word, but
yes,
at least no.
People always, in
Yeah.
fact, go against their word. Marriage is like, 10 years you is not the same as the person you married early on.
Yeah.
Those the
changed.
willingness for when you met deteriorates with the hatred that builds up if things are not going right
Kwanza
throughout
mtu
the years.
akicheat.
Mtu amecheat na bado hamja prepare. Like, that's why women stay, because where are you going?
Facts.
Tebu get a prenup.
On that note, I
Period.
said 1 hour cat, but a prenup. Yeah. No. Anyway, I guess it's not a bad thing. I don't think a prenup is a bad thing. I think it just gives you even peace of mind.
Yeah.
And prevents a lot of back
Because
and
it's
forth.
even difficult to get a post-nap, by the way, just to remind you. It's difficult to now go back if you didn't have a prenup before marriage. Okay, so we expected to do more dilemmas, but I think the episode has just gone the way it's gone. So I think we'll just answer one last question before we close off the episode. But this is more tailored towards us. So I wanted to ask us to discuss a favorite aspect of a particular season in our lives this year and why it was so significant to you. So what would you say?
Okay,
What would
I
you
think
say is your season that stood out for you this
my
year?
season, which I think I even expressed with my friends, was my academic season, which was more of the first half of the year. I think for me, just seeing, okay, actually, I put my mind to complete this thing. And for the past 2 years, 20, yeah, almost 2 years, that I was just super focused, and I knew, okay, this thing is hard, but it's possible, and there are people who've done it, so I can do it, and making the necessary sacrifices. Like nowadays, I'm really struggling to wake up early. And I was like, when I was studying, 4 was so normal for me, and I was like, wow, God gives you a grace for the season that you're in, because I'm like, 4 it's a rumor, but yet it was so effortless, like it was just flowing. So I think that for me was an interesting season. I have shared about my academic journey on this podcast like 3 times, lots of times actually, but I think it's and everyone who's finished school or graduated always feels so like, wow, I managed to do this, afterwards. So I think for me that was like one of the most substantial seasons. And just seeing that I can do hard things, I can put my mind to something and do it, and nothing is impossible. Like, just keep at it, and you forget, like, now am I thinking about you? Are you thinking about uni? Are you thinking about how you Spanish had stressed you at your project, and it's just a part of life. And
it is a part of life. And I think, so doing my master's is something I've toyed around with. I think once you really discover something that you want to pursue in education, the outlook is different than I'm being forced to be here. Like deciding to do a master's in something you're passionate about isn't the worst idea in the world. In my head right now. So I think it was a big accomplishment, and I'm proud of you for that season that you had.
Oh, I thought you were talking about yourself. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you.
What do you mean it?
I don't know. It's just, I thought you had started like.
Oh, I think mine is same outcome, different format. In that, for me, my best season of the year is, of course, it has to be my Tech Story Africa, because it's something I set my mind to do in January. No, not even January, like
the year before.
October even. And then finally executing it and just taking it a day at a time. Today, we'll tackle website. Tomorrow, we'll tackle production. The next day, we'll tackle how we're traveling. Like, I think I'm just proud to do something for me, which is something that not everybody has had the opportunity to, or has taken that extra leap of faith to do it. Maybe I would just be in an office job and just keep thinking, okay, what next? But I've not gained any monetary return from that experience. But I think I just love the fact, I just love the fact that throughout my entire life, I've always done something that I'm passionate about and run with it. And until this day, it's something that I still do. So that season for MTS, it's still going on, but just that season of making the decision to do this and the building of it and traveling to a different country for it.
And putting it out there
in the world and going through the emotions of, I'm not in love with this anymore. And season of, oh yes, this is exactly what I want to do. And then just the ups and downs and going through it continually, and even just BOB, like still doing along the lines of doing something that I still just want to do and being committed to it. I'm very grateful for that. So for the season of launching MTS, especially having the launch party with my girl, not my girls, but my friends, them seeing something that I worked hard at, and just like I think MTS is a beautiful season for me. So I can't wait to see what's in store next year. Of course, the next season this year that caught me by surprise was my relationship era. But because I've not really had one, basically a serious one like this one. And so that's been new, but it's been quite an experience, mostly positive. I think I've learned, you'll also learn a lot about yourself while you're in relationships, addressing your biases, how you're thinking. And guys, someone else is calling you out and telling you this is the personality that you have. I don't know, you think
this is someone you love. Someone who is meant to be nice to you is telling you things you don't want to hear.
Like, I don't know what you think you are in this situation, but this is exactly how you are and how you handle certain situations, and just calling yourself out. So that's also been an interesting season. But the one that really stood out for me is that the beginning of my individual journey era, aside from corporate and working with you. I think those are my two minis. And I'm looking forward to see what next year holds. I'm looking forward to closing this year off with a bang. January, when we come with stories, we will be having them.
I think I need to keep a journal.
Yeah, you just write notes of things that happened so that when we're catching up.
Because January comes and I'm like,
what happened?
Crickets. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, wait and see what happens.
Yeah, but guys, follow us on Instagram. Follow us on our personal pages as well. I guess I don't know
Yeah.
if we'll be posting because that's where we're interesting content creators. We post when we feel like. But yeah, do follow us. And
What's next after
keep
15
on
days
us.
of me?
I'm not committing to anything. Christmas content now.
Christmas content.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we can close off the episode here. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on board this entire year, this season. What else do you want to say?
Yeah, thank you for it's been 3.5 years almost. So most of you, as we said on Spotify, came this year. So karibuni, let's keep engaging. As much as yes, we're on break, we're still active. So
This time we won't take a break till forever.
Yeah, always DM us maybe topics, guests, because these are people we can start booking as soon as now, you know, to come in for the episodes. Just tell us where you're at so we can also figure out what
meet you halfway.
Yeah. Exactly. So thank you guys, and see you next year, God willing. Bye.